on.
All right, fellas. Welcome to the Back of the Bus Pod. Where this has been a brainchild kind of mine of the last, how long would y'all say? Like
45 minutes?
Nah, it's been longer than that.
Couple weeks.
But this is kind of like our
few
own
months.
our own platform to kind of just talk about stuff that's going around in the shop, stuff that we've talked about, like, or stuff that we've done, like going to trips and stuff, but like things from our point of view. Or it's like if Sherm does something dumb in the shop, we can talk about it. Or if Coop is making a scroll stopper or something, or Jack just being a nut. Obviously, so I'm Mitch, as I'm sure you guys know, I'm getting made fun of all the time.
Fun fact.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Then we got
time to
Bro is holding court.
But then obviously we got Jack, G, and JP are not here because they are talking to an interview that we have coming out later. They're just chopping it up, so they'll be joining Jack on the couch. And these seats are not assigned, so I'm sure we'll all be moving around all the place. We got Coop.
Kind of like my seat though.
We got Coop, and then we got Mike Wazowski over there. We got Sherm.
What the hell?
Come on.
So yeah, this is kind of.
Oh yeah, no, my name's Jared.
Yeah, we got.
Oh my God.
We got Jared behind the sticks with the
That
little.
is not very type shit.
With the
Yeah, I'm Jared.
the Jerry rigged camera over there, but yeah. So I don't know. I guess how do we want to start this?
Go ahead and give him a fun fact, Mitch.
Fun fact about me: I had strep throat in my the strep throat disease or sickness in my thumb before.
Yeah, that's cap.
No, I swear.
All right, group. Let's say
That's
cap
true?
or real.
Can that happen?
Factor cap.
That actually happened.
Cap.
I sucked my thumb until I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Yo, pause.
And
What the hell?
we're not going to be doing this.
I mean, shit, why not?
But
Jared's about to have too much power.
yeah, Jared thinks he's hanging back there behind the stakes now.
I like it.
But no, I was like sucking my thumb, and then I went to get something in my closet, and I jammed my thumb, and like, you know how when your nail bends back,
Ooh.
that's what happened. And then
So your thumb like coughing and shit?
yeah, it actually was. It got all pussed up, and I had to go to like the doctor, and they had to burn a hole in it and run my nail, and I had to like push all the pus out. It was kind of crazy. So your fun fact, Jack.
I'm Jack. I'm 30, and
Hi,
kind of
Jack.
into
Hey, Jack.
Asian
Jack.
girls. I'm kind of into Asian girls recently, so yeah, no progress at all. Just it's been kind of in the back of my head.
Yeah, how's your New Year's resolution going?
I'm trying to get married, so konnichiwa.
Ooh, that's Spanish for hello. Are you seeing these Asian women in the wild on TV?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've always known it. I mean, I love all women, that's for sure. Not in a weird way, but here we are.
But Asians.
Yeah, and I've also yeah. Coop, why don't you go?
my fun fact. One time, I don't even know if this is fun. This kind of sad fact, like Mitch's. One time I broke my leg all the way in half and had a cast
Hey, talking to the mic, bro.
up to my crotch. Pretty funny. We might even pull up the picture so y'all can see it because
Didn't
I think
you
it's
say,
hilarious.
You got your first kiss in that cast, didn't you?
That is also part of the fun fact. Thank you, Mitch, because I was totally blanking on that.
That's correct.
I did use the wheelchair in the cast to my advantage. I did get my first kiss in 8th grade with the full leg cast that was up to my cock and balls. Pretty fun.
Come
Her
on.
name.
Shout out Sydney.
Let's go.
Were you like in the wheelchair and everything when you got the, or were you like perked?
I was
perked
up on the couch. I was,
okay.
but you know, I had still had my leg out. Like,
I mean, did you get with the cast?
Did you get down?
nah, just first base only.
No, I'm saying like, did you get kind of like rocked up at all?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bro.
Did it cover?
Yeah.
Did it cover your waist? Like, did you ever have to do a catheter or anything?
No. It literally just went all the way up. I guess underneath to my cock, like
Stand up and
you
show
know.
them.
Show me your
CMB.
cock.
C and B's.
Can you see the
right
C&B?
there. So like my nuts are right here. It went right here.
You're
so-
right. Here, show where the nuts are. I'll keep my hand.
Yeah,
right
nuts
there.
are here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
hard to
just
shower. Hard to
hover.
shower. Loved all the attention at school, but It was rough. Fun
yeah,
fact.
that does kind of suck.
I have
fun
a,
fact.
Go ahead, Sherm.
I have a buddy to go off of that. This isn't my fun fact, but I've heard if they ever ask, or if you're ever in a hospital situation where hey, if we do this, we'd have to put you on a catheter. Always take the catheter. He had to get a catheter 3 different times. Swears up and down that the swelling from having to get the catheter multiple times made his piece a little bigger.
Damn.
So that's why he said to get a catheter, because it makes your piece bigger.
I can get behind that.
Is that free game?
That seems
That
like free
it's
game.
some free game
That's
that
the first free game you're gonna learn today.
my wife is a nurse, and I have told her that story, and she called Cap and said,
Oh no.
"There's no way that that's true." I don't want to go too much into detail, but I've seen the guy's piece pre-catheter and post-catheters, and he's swinging. Not anything like record-breaking, but he's swinging. He wasn't swinging before.
Calling your wife a liar.
I think she's wrong in that situation.
All right,
We'll
Sherm,
get
what's
her
your fun
on
fact?
Yeah.
Fun fact. Hey, first off, Mitch, thank you so much, and J-Rod for having me on, having us all on.
Blaze.
It's whatevs.
Appreciate y'all.
My name is Sherman. I sit in the back of the bus on Bussin With The Boys with my boy Mitch. Fun fact, I fell out of the car
Crazy.
on the highway when I was like 12 years old. My mom was exiting onto the highway in Alabama, Wilmer, Alabama. And I fell out of the car. We were only going like 35 or 40, but
You fell out or you jumped out?
I fell
You
out.
fell out of a
How does
moving
that
car
happen?
at 40 miles an hour?
40 miles an hour. Seatbelt was stuck in the door. It was so we had just gotten some boiled peanuts from a roadside stand. I was super stoked on the boiled peanuts, so I'm concentrating on that. We shut the door. Seatbelt is in the door, and my mom's seatbelt thing starts going on just as we're pulling onto one of those soft shoulder highways.
Sure.
She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I look over, seatbelt stuck in the door. I crack it open to get it out. She's paying too much attention to me, so she's got right hand on me, left hand on the steering wheel. Paying too much attention, realizes that she's swerving into that soft shoulder, into the grass, and goes to correct.
You go.
Oh, and you went.
And if you've ever played Jello, that makes you go, whoop. And I flew out.
Damn.
Any injuries? Catheter?
I wish I did not get a catheter. I do have like kind of a weird little scar on my hand because I put my hands down when I landed and it like calloused over kind of weird.
As one would.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I slid like super far. It was crazy, but I just have like this little bump on my hand.
Did anybody see it? Did they almost call Child Protective Services?
Yes. Okay. So not CPS, but off duty EMT happened to be like 4 cars behind us. So he instantly got out and he was like, "Oh my gosh." He's like, "Is he okay?" Blah,
Ruined his
blah.
day.
I went into shock. I was like shaking uncontrollably.
How old were you again?
Like 11 or 12. And my dad was between jobs, so he didn't have health insurance for the family. And so my mom's like, before this trip, my dad was like, no matter what, do not go to the hospital because we don't have any insurance. So my mom was like, do we need to take him in? And the off-duty EMT was like, no, he seems fine. He's in shock.
He's asking for a catheter.
He's asking for a catheter. I was
That
like,
shitty EMT.
I was like, please make it bigger. Make it bigger, please.
I fell off the back of a car in my senior year in high school. And that's how I got this fat scar on my knee. Yeah, it was my high school girlfriend. We were getting mail, and I went out and got the mail. We were at her house. She's got like a long driveway, and she started.
Better be if y'all are driving to get the
Yeah,
mail.
well, no. It was
Lazy fucks.
It was when we were pulling into like from being out, and she started driving away. So like I hopped on the back of the car. Dumb idea to begin with, and then she forgot I was on the back of the car and started speeding up. And so her driveway is at least like 3 football fields long, so there's time to gather some speed.
Money.
And I slipped and fell off. I think I got knocked out for a couple seconds. I had football camp in like 3 weeks. It was bad.
Oh my gosh. How fast was she going?
She said she got up to like 25.
Imagine getting thrown out at 40 on the interstate.
As a child.
And
Well,
have some
soft,
perspective.
but soft
yeah.
shoulder. Soft shoulder.
What does that mean? Like there's grass?
gravel, grass, like.
Gravel
Yeah.
sounds so soft.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds pretty good.
I would love to land on gravel.
Well, I'm sure that was the driveway. Was it
Oh,
concrete?
it was all yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably about the same then.
Oh yeah, speed to hardness of where you're falling.
Yeah.
That math checks out.
Let's get. We never gave Jared his time for his.
Yeah, thank you, Mitch. I'm not getting any time over here.
Next
but,
segment.
My name is Jared.
Dude, perk up a little, man.
My name is Jared.
Don't
Jesus.
show up in front of the camera.
I'm
now.
20. Hey guys, my name is Jared. I'm 24 years old. I'll just follow the theme of bad things that's happened. I got a parasite in middle school from a mission trip.
Wait, like,
Oh.
It fucked me up.
yeah, like in your stomach or something.
Yeah, I
How'd
went
you
to
get it
take
out?
one?
Yeah, I went, or I don't know what it was. I went to Kentucky on a mission trip, and like we were helping these kids at this camp, and there's like this pool, and apparently they told everyone. I didn't hear it. They're like, play with the kids and stuff, but like, do not get in the pool with them. The pool is like disgusting. Like, I don't even know how they're in it. Like, they have good immune systems or something. And my dumbass, I was like playing like Marco Polo and stuff. I was in the pool all week, and on the way home, I was just throwing up diarrhea all week, or heading back. And then
Type shit.
when I went to the doctor when I got back, I had some kind of parasite, which was weirdly easy to get rid of. You just like take a pill and it kills it.
Damn.
So that's me.
That's Damon.
It would have
That
been.
is Damon.
I was gonna ask if it was one of the cool. If it was one of the cool parasites like venom. But it sounded like one of the like dumb ones, or not dumb, but
One of the ones that fucks you.
yeah,
up.
one of the ones that fucks you up. I'm sorry to hear that, J-Rod.
It's all good, bro.
That's
That's
wild.
That's the
hilarious.
sharp kind of humor you can expect from the back of the bus spot. Those kind of bits right there.
Type.
Type.
Everyone say fun facts, and we all just do trauma.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, I had a great fun fact.
What
We're
was- what
bringing
was
the
yours
vibes
You're just
down.
being too cool for school. You're not trying to get deep, bro.
What, did I say
Oh,
that I'm
Asian
into
chicks.
Asian girls lately? All right, I'm Jack, and I've broken 23 bones.
That's sick.
Sorry.
Same bones multiple times.
Oh, yeah, I broke my wrists 5 summers in a row. 4 of the same wrists, and then 1 different in the first week of summer.
Skating.
Weak
A lot of different stuff. I literally had baby wrists, too, so
The
it
first
didn't
week of
help.
summer, 4 summers in a
4
row.
summers in a row. I just had waterproof casts forever. But yeah, ankles, fingers, wrists, back, legs, you name it. It's probably been broken. But I've been on a great streak. I don't think I've broken a bone since college. I broke both of my wrists at the same time dunking.
Am I tripping? Did you say back legs?
No, back,
back,
leg,
leg.
comma, legs, back legs too though. But yeah, I went up for a
Where-
dunk.
hey, where
in
the
between,
back legs?
In between, yeah, and grabbed the rim,
Mega
and then
legs.
the momentum swung me off, and I just came down.
Were you like?
I had a
swinged up?
sling in one and then a full cast on the other. It was brutal.
My buddy Andy went off of. You guys met Andy. Andy came to the shop one time.
Andy.
Oh,
Andy,
yes, yes.
they don't really
Shout
know
out
your
to
friends
Andy.
that well like I do,
Yeah.
but
He went off like an A-frame. We were in Vermont on our ski trip. He went off an A-frame, landed
oh,
like that, broke both of his wrists. He was slinged up like this for
it's brutal,
2
dude.
months.
You just forget how many things require at least one good
Yeah.
arm, like wiping your ass or eating food or jerking off, and your life is truly hell.
Were you able to pull your own piece out to go pee?
Yeah, because that one was I had
Did you have, like, your
one was
fingers?
the slings, and I couldn't take that really out of the sling for I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks, and one was just like a cast. So I was like,
you had your fingers to like kind of.
yeah, I had 4 fingers and a thumb out, which
Yeah.
was cool. It actually worked out because I was in this class called the History of Dance. It was all ballroom dancing stuff. It was my freshman year, and I just took it.
That's
as
a
like
college class?
Yeah, I took it as like a bullshit elect class, and which I should have never done. I should have saved them for when I was a senior. But my professor, she ended up giving me a full pass on my final, which you had to dance in front of the 40 surrounding students you're with. And I'm a freshman, and most of them are like seniors. So they're like a senior in college to a freshman in college versus a senior in high school to a freshman in high school. Dude, they're like grown-ass people.
Yeah.
And so I got an A. I just had to come in and dance by myself in front of the teacher and just do it. And at the end, she was like, yeah, she's like, it's a pass-fail grade. You pass. And I was like, sweet.
What can I ask? What were your grades like in college? Because
Exactly what you would expect. Me and school never aligned well. My GPA sat like right under 3.0, probably like 2.8, 2.9. I think I cracked 3.0 one time, but I lost my Hope Scholarship, which is the in-state Tennessee scholarship, in my first semester in college because I just wasn't showing up. I was like, I've got better things to do, like smoke weed out of gravity bombs and, go dancing on the weekends. But that's it. Yeah, that's my fun fact.
I love that.
You out of here?
Bye, everybody. I'll be back in
Bye to
episode
Jared.
2.
Hey, hit him,
Jared-
hey,
Amen.
hey, hit him with it.
Jared.
Jared, hit him with it.
Jared is interviewing future interns.
Hey, come on. Hey,
Damn.
come on.
That's a tight.
Do the dance.
This is that new shit y'all need to get on this summer.
Oh.
That's not new shit. That's that Pop Smoke.
No,
Rest
that's
in
it.
peace.
No, it's that
Just
new
get outta
shit.
here.
It's that J-Rod.
R.I.P.
An
Dang.
additional fun fact to Jack's fun fact of the double break of the wrist. My uncle had a double break, had to be in double slings,
Yeah.
and was at an airport flying back from said ski trip where he did the double break. And he had to ask a random stranger.
To pull his pants down?
The random stranger didn't touch it, but he
Why?
he pulled the waistband down to then let him go, and then had to do waistband up and kind of pull it out to let
But
it flip
even
down.
with that, without touching it, like when you feel the waistband, you're feeling it graze down, and you're definitely probably feeling the balls and dick flop back and then
for
smack
sure.
down.
Well,
So
and you
might
have
as well
to
just grab it and hold it. For
Yeah,
him.
well, you have to look too to make sure. Did I pull it down far enough?
You're
Is
like,
this guy
hold on.
peeing on himself? Hey,
Yeah, you're good.
Hey, come here, fucker. Come here.
Yeah, but we when Andy broke both of his wrists, I was in charge of feeding him, so I had to feed him. But then one of my other buddies was in charge of bathroom visits whenever he had to go to the bathroom. But when you're on all those pain meds, it makes you constipated.
Oh,
So you don't-
I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
so he didn't really have to poop a whole lot, but my buddy Colby had to pull his pants down. Then the one time he had to pull them up, but just kept getting stuck. And Andy's like, "Hey, you got to go around it." But it
Ow.
was so funny.
Out then up, as they say.
Well, dang, man. This has been a great episode. So
we gotta-
we'll see you guys next.
We're just talking dicks and shit.
I think we're going to be joined here shortly by two of our other co-hosts.
Yeah, I just knocked down Adam trying to.
Yeah, Mitch is on their ass. I saw him. He's like,
He is.
get up here.
He's waving him down. If we can get that camera shot, that was a great shot of Mitch with the eyebrow raise as well,
Uh-oh.
letting him know.
I'm getting yelled at for trying to start a new podcast.
Wait, they yelled at you?
It's all good, man. They all hate you until they want to be you.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, we're coming, dude."
It's all good.
What was next on the, not to put the pressure on you, but what was the next on the
The next
show
thing I
structure?
had was our reaction, or what do we think of Clay coming on? But now we got the fellas here.
Everyone welcome
Yeah.
Gary.
Let's go. Type shit.
Here, G, move over.
Come on now.
Move over to the couch, G.
And there's an extra one if you want to.
You can move to the couch or steal one of the mics from the couch.
Wazowski Gang is accepting
Maybe
members, G.
Yeah.
Wazowski Gang's accepting members.
Are you in the Wazowski game?
No, man. No, I don't smoke
Do you
pot.
want an eye?
You're a Sully guy?
I'm more of a. Yeah, maybe Sully. What's the Spider-Man's not Spider-Man,
The
but
lizard?
No, he's
You're more of the lizard guy for sure.
yeah.
Russell?
I was trying to think of his name too. No, it's the president of Monsters Incorporated.
Water News.
James A. Waternoose or something.
The spider guy?
Yeah.
Is it Water News?
You.
But he has
Mike
a trillion eyes.
Wazowski!
I'll kidnap
Nice.
1,000 children before I let this company
We are
die.
finally joined by the final two members of the back of the bus. We got JP and we got G.
This thing isn't sticky.
You guys have to
You gotta,
give. We went around and gave interesting or fun facts of everybody.
Okay.
They ended up being pretty traumatic. Like I said, I had strep in my thumb. Jack has broke 26 bones. Coop broke his leg.
But I had a happy ending on mine.
Yeah, Coop.
Hey.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, actually.
Coop broke his leg and then got his first kiss, and then Sherm fell out of a car going 40 miles an hour. So, your turn.
Did you fall out or this sounds like
It's
out of the car?
yeah. So just to give you all the short of it, pulling onto a soft shoulder highway in Alabama. My mom's driving. We're the only two in the car. My seatbelt, I closed it into the door. So ding, ding, ding's going on. She tells me to get my seatbelt. She then notices that it's stuck in the door, so she puts her right arm on my shirt and left hand on the steering wheel and isn't paying good attention to the road. So she starts veering off the side of the road, corrects way too hard, and I just slam up against a somewhat open door. So I like flew out, and I kind of held. She said I held on a little bit. I really don't remember it too well, but I tried to hold on a little bit, and my feet started dragging, and I just dropped.
Going off that, nothing with me, but shout out to the boy moms out there. I have two older brothers. One time my oldest brother, the one with all the animals, they like wanted to see how fast the car could be moving for them to jump out and still like be running. And so we had a minivan, and they opened the door and they're like, go 10 miles per hour. And so they
Your mom's doing this?
Yeah. And so like, you know, they run and jump out, and I forget, they probably only got to like 15 miles per hour, but they would like jump out and then just start rolling. And I'm like, it's the most boy mom thing ever.
Were they in the grass?
In the grass.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
You like try that even in a golf cart, and you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh
I
shit.
know.
So the minivan rolled the door open.
And it's just going beep the whole time.
It was like a pure jump and run, no like jump, roll, and run.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it was a roll because they couldn't stand up. But if we're doing traumatic experiences for our fun facts, one time I ran away because I felt like I wasn't getting enough attention. And I just ran away to the tree across the street, and I climbed up it to watch. I'm like, yeah, they'll see. I'm gone. They'll miss me. They're going to come looking. And I was up there like the whole afternoon, and not one time did either of my parents come out to look. And then I started getting hungry. And so I go back into the house, and they're like, oh, Jay, how was your day? Like, were you at the pool? What are you doing? I was like, yeah, I was at the pool.
Yeah, I had a great day.
And I didn't tell my mom until like probably within the last 5 years. And she felt so bad.
Oh, so you didn't even pronounce like, hey, I am running away. Y'all aren't paying enough attention to me.
I just left.
I like that. The Irish goodbye.
Yeah, Irish goodbye on the
Irish
family.
Run away. Traumatic experience. I got kicked out of college. That kind of sucked.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that either.
Yeah, I
Jack knew.
I knew this.
horrible student, but I had like this beef with a teacher where we had to write papers, and I was just like, yo, like I don't really want to write this paper. Paid for someone to write my paper. They might as well have just Command A, select all, Command V, paste, turned it in, and I had to go to the dean's office, and the entire sheet of paper is in red. It's like that can't be good. So yeah, that happened once. I got a warning and did it like again within the same month. So ultimately got expelled indefinitely and had the option, if I felt like I learned my lesson, to reach back out and have a meeting with him. I was like, I'm never going to go back to school. Like, this was a sign, self-induced.
This is at Bama?
Yeah. Yeah. So not only did I leave Mars Hill, not want to play sports anymore, to then go to the school that my father hates, to then getting expelled, we were rolling. Later on to once I got back in school, got arrested on spring break, so we were crushing. But blacked out in my meeting with like the dean to get back in, just came back to of him being like, yeah, all right, I'll let you back in.
Dude.
Dean's list from there on out. And every time I'd go back and see him, I was like, see, like if I get out of these gen ed classes, I'm fine. Like I'm not writing another story about Beowulf. Like,
Yeah.
Right. And
you
that's
did that in 5th grade, dog. Like
that's what we're here to talk about too, this episode.
Is Beowulf?
No, like the
Oh.
failure of the universities in America in our education system.
Let's go.
So good segue.
Yeah.
No, hey, it must have been right after Nick Saban gave that speech about like second chances.
Nothing. What do you?
Is that what he said?
It's the what do you?
What do you owed?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you owe? Nothing.
Wait, so you did go back though and you finished?
I did go back and finish, and yeah,
That's fucking sick.
yeah. So
Yeah, round of applause. That's a sick
Hero's journey.
He was so scary, dude.
And now you're Wazowski gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently everyone. So is JP. Kind of messed up on that one. But yeah, we were just before y'all were walking in about to talk about the reaction to Clay Matthews joining the brand.
How do we feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like whatever we wanted to talk about it. Like the few experiences that we've had with Clay and just how fucking funny he is, just playing the odds.
Have you guys
No,
covered basically everything already? Like how he
that-
just dogs Will?
No, we
haven't
haven't even
talked
got
about
into
any
it.
of
Oh, well, that's probably a good place to start. Love at first sight, right? Like, comes in, does the locker room. Obviously, dude knows ball. He was pretty good. But then as soon as he like starts dogging Will, it's like, okay,
He's one of the boys.
yeah, you kind of fit in,
Yeah, dude. I feel like Clay.
and he's beautiful.
He's beautiful.
Yeah, good looking guy,
Long hair.
sculpted, but I feel like he's like the era of football player that we grew up watching.
For
where he was
sure.
like
Yeah.
the face of the NFL. And then so when he came in, shaking his hand, like just the pause on him, he was one of the guys, and I know there's a lot of guys that we feel this way about, but he's a dude that walks in and you like immediately grab your phone and you text your friends like, hey, Clay Matthews.
Yeah,
Clay Matthews is here, and he is also like a really good guy.
and he's huge, like
Yeah.
true football player size.
I don't know if we are allowed to talk about this, but that email that was sent,
Yeah.
do you want
All
to
time.
read it?
I think we could definitely talk about that. That's just Clay.
I think we
being
could sum
a
it up.
class act.
Yeah.
Without airing out anyone's names and shit.
You want to read it since you got it, or
Just so we can
Summarize.
sum it up.
Yeah. The moral of this email is someone reached out to our customer service email on our bwtv.com, and
Get the merch.
they write this really long, nice message about how they went to high school with Clay and that Clay was always a nice guy. And this person went through, some hard times, as most people do, going through middle school, high school. They didn't really go into a ton of detail, but they said that anytime they passed Clay and his friend in the hallway, Clay was always the kind of guy that would be like, hey, like, wave, hey, what's up? Speak to them, acknowledge that they were, a part of their school, class, whatever it is, and that it really just like made that person's day.
Well, it sounded like bullying was like one of the
Yeah.
biggest things that she faced. And for, I'm guessing, one of the best looking, most athletic dudes at your
Right.
school to just be like, hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Because he could have totally let all that get to his head and just been a dick.
yeah, that's a cool one, because that person got to go home and just like that little piece probably stuck with them,
Well,
obviously till today.
yeah,
'cause,
you can
like,
tell it's still stuck with her,
Yeah.
considering that she felt so compelled to like reach out to us, seeing that Clay is a part of us now, and like it meant so much to her that she like.
Yeah.
20-something years
Yeah.
later.
Have we
Yeah.
shown that to Clay? Has he seen that?
I think
We gotta hope that our
Will.
fearless leaders pass it along.
Yeah.
Dude,
To
pass
be
along the good
completely
news.
honest with the viewers,
When I get Clay's phone number, it's a wrap.
none of us have Clay's number. I don't think any
Yet.
of us have a follow back from Clay.
no,
No.
definitely not.
No.
So we are battling that. If there is one bad thing about Clay, it's probably that.
Yeah, I think we got so used to the warmth that Delaney Walker provided, and he was so for the boys. He accepted Jared Beeman's Instagram collab of him holding his own gun. So I think once we get that follow back, inevitably it will be one of those really fun days. We'll have to go to Chili's or something and celebrate.
Chili's with
Right.
Clay would go nuts.
Yeah, I
That'd be
think it's
sick.
so cool what you're saying though.
Be down.
Like when we were kids, and like he was the kind of football player you'd like think of when you think of the NFL. And imagine being in like whatever grade you are, because we kind of all span different ages. But like you're in 8th grade, and like someone tells you like, "Hey, you're gonna be on the same payroll as Clay Matthews one day." And that is super cool. And like, I think we're all in agreement that he's just like a fun loving, like super nice, well-spoken, smart cat. So it's going to be sick. Football season. I'm starting to hit that point in the year where I can't wait for football season. So it's going to be sick.
He's one of those dudes where like when you were playing backyard football with your boys and like maybe you got like a sack or something, like you would hit his like
Right.
Oh yeah, all
his,
of them.
his
Yeah.
sack celebration.
His hair is iconic too. I've had so many friends reach out. Like we have a lot of cool people on and around us. I've had like at least 5 reach out after I put it like on my story that Clay Matt. They're like, are you serious? Like that's sick. So like that's how you know he's a big deal.
Oh yeah.
for like
Yeah.
people our age.
And he just doesn't do a whole lot in the space.
Right.
And for him to fully
Yeah.
commit to a fall with us is unreal.
And he's so
We're excited
good
to see
at
him
it.
again.
He's so good.
I'm like, the fact that you don't have a podcast and you haven't done TV like this is crazy.
He's done movies though. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been in movies.
It's
TV
perfect.
shows.
he's won. I mean, acapella competitions.
Yeah.
We see a ton of really cool guests come through here of like all facets of stardom. And I feel like there's a level of celebrity that, yes, you see them on social media or TV, but when you see them in person, you go, oh, okay, that's what they look like in person. They look like a little different. And with Clay, when he walked in, it's like, it's exactly what I imagined.
Right.
He looks exactly how I imagined.
When I felt that way kind of when Luke Kuechly walked in.
Bro, that
Luke
was
Kuechly's
walked in and it
insane.
was like,
hot
Yeah.
as
For
fuck.
sure.
and he was huge.
Dude, he is
Like,
the guy from Smallville.
Yeah, no
he is
doubt.
Clark Kent.
But back to Clay, like I thought about this later. Maybe we talked about it, but like seeing Clay and Delaney stand next to each other, and it's like if Delaney's going in a route, like Clay would have been the person to drop and cover him, right?
He's got to no, like he would like chip him.
Chip him.
Yeah.
Think
Like-
about that battle.
That sucks.
Which also says like Delaney is a freak.
Yeah.
And now they're
Delaney
our
is
coworkers.
a-
Yeah.
I can't wait for the fall for those two like specifically to interact because Delaney is one of the funniest humans I've ever met, and like
Mhm.
it's so cool to me that he like interacts with us so much. Like when we're done locker room, Will and Taylor will be like in the streaming room or whatever they're doing, and then Delaney will come back and like kick it with us and just
Yeah.
tell the
Yeah.
most insane stories.
Half of
that
them maybe
you've ever
lies.
heard.
The fact that more than one of us thought to text Delaney during the draft process to come pull up on the bus is just like, and responded to everybody.
Yeah.
Also,
Didn't rat anyone out.
And the fact that he was down instantly to
Instantly.
come
Yeah,
ride go karts at my brother's bachelor parties.
that's what I was gonna
crazy.
say.
You should explain
Bro.
that a little bit in depth for anyone who's unfamiliar.
How did
with
Delaney
that.
end up being the one?
Yeah, for anyone who is unfamiliar, my brother had his bachelor party here in Nashville, and
Shout out Camp.
shout out to Camp, recently married. So he had his bachelor party here, and we had one guy drop out in this K1 speed go karts at like downtown. You had a requirement of people to be there, so we didn't meet that requirement because we had someone back out. And so I'm asking everyone in the shop except for JP. Sorry, I forgot to ask JP. I still feel bad
I
about
forget
that.
about
That's
that.
why JP brought this up.
I do feel bad about that, but no one could go. Will
That
and-
was free.
Will and Taylor, they obviously couldn't go. So I was like, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then everyone's like, you should ask Delaney, like he might be down. Text Delaney. I was like, hey, like I don't know if you want to do this, like drive all the way here, go to this thing with us, this bachelor party. And he texts back within like 20 minutes. He's like, word, I'll see you there. and then he pulled up and just smoked all of us. Got first on the podium by far.
Gotta throw that photo in.
Got it.
For
the
sure.
Yeah, there's a photo.
With
Yeah.
the shiesty.
So funny.
But yeah, it was funny, and they all obviously enjoyed having Delaney around because he's
He's
hilarious.
Delaney Walker.
And it's totally.
My dream is for the content is when Will and Taylor inevitably team up on Delaney because I feel like they love kind of picking on him together. If Clay just swoops in there to defend him and starts hitting him with those quick one-liners he's got,
Clay's quick.
electric.
Electric. Who, I don't know if we want to stay on this. I was gonna ask like if y'all could, if there's another former player that you could pick a former player to join the squad. Who is a guy that you would want to see? It's kind of a tough question to be put on the spot.
That is tough.
Someone that jumps out to me is like Randy Moss. Obviously, he's already does TV, but his accent. Actually, I take it back. Mine will be Leonard Fournette.
Oh, that's a good one.
Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
Those are some of the funniest interviews. Dang.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm gonna
gotta
smack an easy Peyton Manning,
Ooh, yeah.
and
would be a good one.
we are now also in the same world as FanDuel, and we got to go up and interview him, and it's the sheriff, obviously huge Vols fan, but he might be a little dated at this
Right.
point because you want someone with longevity. He's got a lot of kids, probably wants to just hang, but
He's no Darius Rucker.
all right, we can't get into this.
Hey, are we
let's
doing just
clear the
football,
room.
by the way?
It's true. You could be anybody. You could choose anybody.
Question.
What was your question? Sean?
Shaq.
Just football?
Oh.
Shaq, bro.
Shaq would be crazy. That'd be so awesome. It would be fun. I feel like for a moment to have somebody like Antonio Brown, especially after that text, or was it the text that you got? Or
Oh,
yeah.
and like hearing stories like that, it's like, oh man, but that may just be like it's fun for 30 minutes, and then it's like, okay, what did we get ourselves into? But
He'll hit the after day 2.
he would. So then it would be
Mid-pod.
perfect. It'd be perfect. Just give him some good guaranteed money, get one episode out of him. That'd be incredible.
I mean,
I
I feel like Jared Allen was pretty cool when he was here.
He was cool.
He was.
I was so bummed I couldn't sit in on the interview for that. I forget what I was doing. But that was when we were on the other side, the 4 of us on the pong table, and Jack's office was the back of the bus.
We had him on that long ago?
Yeah, that was forever ago.
I thought we were
That was within like my
definitely within the last 2 years.
no, that was like within my first like 2 or 3 months.
Jared Allen, dang.
You also got to think of people that like their personalities would fit in with us. Like obviously Delaney and Clay were like really good players and massive players, but like their personalities just jive with us, and they can like mess around and joke around and stuff. And you don't know if like certain players will feel some type of way, like if you get on them, kind of like the way we
True.
do with people. So I don't know, just that part makes it tougher, because then you could think of like, oh, it'd be sick if like Tom Brady was with us, but like you don't know. You don't know. Yeah, Ocho would be good.
So someone who's not a former player, currently in the NFL, and we're talking about him today, and he's not the biggest guy.
Let's go.
But Corey Levin would be electric to have here. Just a vibes guy and just fun. If you don't know who Corey Levin is, definitely give
Google
him a
him.
follow.
I did off that same beat. I was gonna go current player. If he called in every single week, Leggett, dude.
Oh,
Every single week, get like a call with him. That accent,
Got the
dude.
denim on denim Louis V.
them on
I got the L on the belt for the
I ain't never
Leggett.
trying to go back to Germany again, bro.
How's that new horse treat you? Oh, what?
Bro, he is the best, man. We gotta
I
have.
hope
him
he has a
on.
good year.
I can't imagine trying to caption his clips.
Adobe would
You
have
don't.
fits.
Yeah, you just kind of let that one be. Like you understand him if you understand him.
That's a good point, though. I don't think I have seen captions on his clips
Bro,
from the NFL.
Adobe's probably just sitting there going, I don't know.
The next thing on here, I don't know if there's still more. Or Coop, do you have anybody?
Luca.
Pat McAfee, former Colts punter. No,
Trade
this
of
one,
the
this
century.
one, I think would be good as fellow Poke. I've seen him getting more active on social media lately, like interacting with fans, getting kind of in like the discourse, like the sports discourse. Is Des Bryant,
Justin Blackman.
Dude, he has been.
maybe not Justin Blackman, but Des Bryant. I feel like I've seen him all over Twitter lately. Dope the X. I
That's
feel
a
like
good
he'd be
poll.
cool. You know, he was a
He's
big
wants
time
to get
player.
active.
He would actually be pretty good, because he can be like really like outgoing and like
Yeah.
opinionated when it comes to some things.
I think Des would be sick.
Michael Irving.
We saw Michael Irving outside a Drake party one time.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
We never made it inside the Drake party, but
Where was the Drake
outside.
party?
That would be
It was
Super
in
Bowl.
Arizona.
Super Bowl.
My
that would be a
ex-girlfriend
perfect.
made it
That'd
in.
be a perfect story to tell, because you know
We'll
you
cut
heard
that.
like
He
Will and
wasn't. That's why I'm on.
you heard Will and Taylor's side of the story. They got to get in, but like you guys, that would be perfect for, because I went home. I went with Tanner.
Yeah,
know
we
what
know
you
where
did.
you went.
Mitch went to Jeffree Star's house.
I did not go to Jeffree Star's. I went with Tanner to Jeffree Star's friend's place, and then I caught the Uber home.
Hey, come on. Was it sick though, Jeffree Stars?
Oh, when we went to Jeffree Star's villa, it was insane. It was actually really cool.
Where's he live?
Is that your favorite?
It was.
guest
It
we've ever
was
had?
like an Airbnb. It was
Me?
very nice though.
No, why?
Explain your hand placement.
See, so that was, I don't know how
Sit a
I
cup up on that ass.
don't know how I ended up next to him, but like, and I didn't want to like kind of go
Big
like
bro?
that. Yeah, so I just put my hands like
In the
this,
small of his back. Oh,
like
yeah.
cross
sure-
my
yeah,
hands,
yeah.
and then like the angle of the picture, it looks like my wrist is just resting on his butt, and which wasn't the case, and wasn't a motive at all. To try
Covering
and-
me and resting hand on butt.
but that just in general, that day
Was it firm?
but that day was one of the craziest days that I've ever had.
What
was the
all did
weirdest
y'all
day?
do that
The
day?
weirdest day for sure.
We interviewed Jeffrey at our Airbnb prior to that.
Which is so funny because our Airbnb was like it was nice for us. But
Yeah.
Right.
Jeffree Star.
Yeah, he was trying to get ready, and he needed better lighting, and like he has his friend like putting like 2 phone lights on him, trying to get ready in our like tiny little like 1-person bathroom that we're all sharing for a week, and it probably smells like balls and shit. And then we like pulled out his gun, and Will was getting, I think his, Will was going out of the country, had to get his passport expedited, and was going through like the city clerk's office of Phoenix.
What was
So,
all around Arizona?
Will was gone the whole day, and then that's why it was just Taylor and Will. And so the dynamic of just Taylor and Jeffree Star, we didn't know how it was gonna go. And honestly, it couldn't have gone better. Like the Jeffree Star interview was hilarious and
Taylor did a
informative,
really good
and
job.
Yeah, it like it made you think the allegations like, dang, was that him?
yeah,
Because
for
they were
real.
connected.
They were vibing.
Yes.
Yeah, they were vibing like it wasn't their first conversation.
Good to see you again. Oh,
Right. I mean, hey, thanks for coming on the show.
yeah,
It was like
thank you.
interesting.
I need to watch that in full. I've only seen clips, obviously.
It's honestly
but-
pretty good. Like I had a very different opinion of Jeffree after that, because I was just kind of like, whatever, like take it or leave it, like not my cup of tea. And honestly, he was like, let's shut the record straight. Like I'm a guy.
Yeah.
I like to wear makeup and shoot guns and suck dick, but I'm not a woman. And we were like, I was like, honestly, I can get down with honesty. So like that was, I was like, refreshing.
He was like, I'm a dude, but like, and I like shooting guns and all the stuff that you were saying, but I just like to look pretty sometimes. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, I think that was the direct
that might
quote.
be a little quote graphic.
For real. We
Honestly, I'm down with
For
honesty.
honesty.
For honesty. That's kind of a bar.
Hell
That's kind of
yeah.
a bar.
Oh,
That was a long week though.
Yeah. Did you want to? Were you gonna tell the Drake story?
oh
There
yeah.
really is like minimal.
Yeah,
We were really-
One guy in recent news tried to be the hero.
Yeah, Dave Zig. We were outside the Drake party. We knew Will and Taylor could get into the Drake party, but we were like, we might as well ride. It was around Garrett's birthday, or was your birthday
it was
that
midnight,
day?
right?
Yeah.
Or was it that day?
It was that day.
His birthday's that day. Maybe we'll get a little birthday luck. So ultimately, we're just standing on the sidewalk outside of the Drake party, and
It's at an old airfield too.
everyone
It's a
is
massive
going
like
Yeah.
in the hangar.
It's in
Yeah.
like this
Oh.
hangar, and we're just like with the GA rats. Like
George
we
Kittle
were
like
with
pulls up,
TMZ.
yeah, we
runs
literally were.
in with his posse. We're like, George, it doesn't look. And then
No.
yeah, then we see Michael Irving. He goes in, but he's like,
What's he wearing?
a turban.
yeah, he's like kind of drunk, and he like goes up to the gate to get in, kind of disappears, and then like 3 minutes later, he's walking out with nobody with him, and he's like pissed, yelling at the air. So we're like, oh snap, and we're thinking if Michael Irvin's not getting in, we're not getting in. And then Dave Ziegler, who is now assistant GM at the Titans but was at the Raiders at the time, he comes walking out with his wife, and he's like, oh boys, what's going on? And we're like, Dave, what's good? He's like, y'all trying to get in? Like, yeah. He goes, well, here unfortunately I'll have 2 wristbands, but you can have them. So he and his wife take the wristbands off, give them to us, and there's 3 of us, and we were in the no man left behind type of war right there, war zone.
They was.
So ultimately we never went in. But
And a crucial detail to include going in before we lost Will and Taylor is TMZ came up and poached
Oh my
Taylor
God, yeah.
because it was the day of
The Jeffree Star.
or day before Jeffree Star interview, and we had posted the photo acting like it was Taylor, who was this like secret NFL man in one of Jeffree's old posts. Like we can put the photo in to like give a little clarification, but TMZ's right in Taylor's girl, Taylor, the rumor's true of you and Jeffree Star dating now, and he's like, no comment. Like, hey,
Will pops in and goes, yeah.
it was
they're all
hilarious.
true.
I totally remember that being a rumor.
Yeah.
Just like when I was on, and I just was like in my head, like, yeah, like
It was-
it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I don't want to harp on the Jeffree Star thing any longer, but it was so wild that he was in our Airbnb. I
Chilling.
was trying to
With his
reenact
Glock.
that photo, and that our Airbnb wasn't good enough to do it, so we went to their place just to do the photo.
Yeah, he was like, the lighting shit in here. And so we drive 15, 20 minutes up this massive
Yeah.
hill to the top
Paradise
of
Valley.
Paradise Valley. It's like the Hollywood of Arizona, and yeah.
Did you
Was
hear
the
how,
lighting
like,
better?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was all window.
Sick
They had like
Airbnb.
studio lighting in there for his photos and like a huge open window Airbnb.
Guns everywhere, food everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you hear how expensive?
Comb everywhere.
Did you hear how expensive that villa was for a night while he was there? It was like $8 to $12,000 a night.
I believe it. Yeah.
Nothing. to
There's
the
only
boss.
3 of them.
I don't know.
3, yeah, I think there was 3
Yeah, it was
staying
like
there.
him, his makeup person and
It's
that other
photographer.
person.
Yeah.
And it's probably like a 9-bedroom, I'm guessing. Like just something crazy.
I don't think it was even like that big. It
No.
was just cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Views were good. The next thing on here is the spring tour, Oregon.
Yeah, we've been going for 45 minutes, so we can keep going.
Holy
Or
H.
We should probably
40 minutes of Jeffrey's tour.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with the spring tour, just because that was really only me, you, and
Yeah.
Mitch for a couple, and for all of them. No,
no, I didn't go to Michigan. or
Michigan, but yeah, spring tour was epic. Go check out the vlogs.
Yeah.
We could,
We
if
could
you
probably talk about like what they're like as a whole instead of like trip by trip.
Yeah, like one overarching theme for me that I noticed was how much the other players and coaches, even from the other schools, like liked or thought about Dan Lanning. A few of the players were curious, like, "Hey, does Dan Lanning, is he really as cool as he seems?" Like, I met Dan Lanning once before. He was awesome. Like, is he like that in the locker room and everything?
Like Michigan and Nebraska
Michigan and
players.
Nebraska people, yeah. So I think that says a lot about Dan Lanning,
I
and
wanna
especially with his most recent like recruit thing.
change my answer to who would want to join the squad. It's Dan Lanning.
That's a good
Oh,
one. That's a
dude.
good
Because
one.
yeah, the rumors are very much true. He is the man. Invited us into his home, fed us,
Dog.
and he was like, "Yo, Jack, JP, Mitch, like individually, what song you want to hear next?"
Yes.
And we're playing, and we're playing on his like indoor golf simulator. Like, if we wanted to, we could have stayed till 3 a.m. Thank
sure.
God we didn't, because we were all dead tired. But yeah, that dude is like a guy who it would be able to get you to go anywhere in the country to a program, with or without the Oregon stamp.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I watched every second of the raw footage of y'all in his house. JP gave me the footage to cut that trailer. I'm just watching the golf simulator, and all I'm looking at is him. I'm just watching him. He's interacting with, dapping y'all up.
Right.
You want anything to drink? Talking to his friends in the background, I think. Or
Friend, like his high school boys were there. Oregon donors were there. Other Oregon
committee.
staff members were there. What's up?
The committee.
The committee, yes.
legend.
2 of the committee members.
the following day, we had to go to like an open practice where the legendary Will getting beat by the running back play happened. But I like went up to Dan at one point, and I think I asked him if like we could film X, Y, and Z during practice. Like, is there anything? And I was like, "Hey, Jack." And he's like, "Dude, Jack, I know who you are, man. You're in my home last night." And I was like, "My bad, man. This is more of just like a courtesy thing."
Okay,
like,
we're boys, I guess.
yeah.
Shit.
I was like, "All right, D."
Me
Like,
too.
but yeah, Dan's the man. I feel like Oregon is. It's just cool when we get to go to a new school for a spring tour, even though we've been to Oregon. That's not in Nebraska or Michigan, even though we love those places.
Yeah.
And just like have the time we did, and I feel like we executed so well in like a time format. Where like every place we were at, we were there for not too long of a time, but long enough to where we got a lot done. So we.
And in classic, I feel like Bussin fashion, because I feel like whenever we go somewhere, somehow or another we'll end up at a Jimmy John's or something at one point, which drives me insane because I'm like, we're in this new place. And of course, in Oregon, we go to that fire sandwich shop, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is a hole in the wall Oregon, Eugene, like we did it. And then we come to find out there's like 2 locations in Nashville.
Oh, Chiba.
And
Yeah.
on top
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that, we ended up getting it twice. And the second time we got it was the reason that me, JP, and Mitch had to get
Almost
a different
missed our
flight
flight.
home from Oregon, because we checked the big equipment case and we got there too late before check-in. They're like, you have to be on the flight that this luggage goes on.
No.
So it actually worked out in our favor. We went to San Francisco, got home the same night, 2 hours later, but Will and Taylor's flight that they connected from Portland to Denver to Nashville, Denver to Nashville, their whole AC was out in the whole plane. So we're sitting there like, dude, fuck yeah. Like, we're
broke
chilling.
boys.
Yeah,
No
all I
AC.
got was like the email notification from booking flights. And it was
You were
like, y'all are
stressed,
in
like-
San Fran. I was like, I literally was like, what happened? And y'all were like, it's
Another
all good. It's
classic
all good.
Drake scenario of just like, we're all going, we're riding.
Right.
San Fran, it was kind of a vibe too. Like going out there, you saw like the Golden Gate. And
It was
everything.
It was.
And it was like we had like
I
a
know, I was
long.
kind of mad jealous. I was like, I've never been to San Fran.
Yeah.
But then
it
we,
was a good time.
and then we had like that 4-hour flight back that you could just. Well, I watched like 2 movies. Which
Were
was
y'all
nice.
nonstop from San Fran?
Yeah.
Which was
Oh,
great.
Huge.
Tight.
I did
Yeah,
not
it
realize
was
when
good.
Mitch told me that story that it was because y'all had to be on the same flight as the bag.
It was
I've
a
never
real
heard about
weird,
that.
like, we've never heard that. And we
I wonder
kind
if
of
it's
just
because
realized
it was the Eugene airport. It was that small airport.
Probably.
She was the employee was new, but also we did get there really late to where like they probably did stop the luggage. But it's still, I guess it wouldn't matter because they could have put it on another flight.
Yeah.
And that's all
We've
What?
done that before.
They were saying
It
it was
has to be
too
a small
heavy, that it
airport
was
thing.
over a certain weight amount that you had to be on because of the weight amount.
Oh, regional, maybe. Was it like a regional size flight?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
It worked out in the best way it could have. Like, there was a moment where they were about to keep us in Eugene for the night and get on like a
Yeah.
3 a.m. or so.
Could you imagine
Old
we
buddy came through.
had to stay there?
Hey,
We
Dan.
just
Hey,
gone
Dan,
back to
can we come over and hang
to
out?
Chiba Subs or whatever.
Hey, Will, could you send me Coach's number?
It would have been far from that ask. But
Yeah. Oh, and then I think what the audience wants to hear from us.
Yeah, I guess kind of like this is our kind of thing, so we can talk whatever we want. Like, I guess guys, if those of you who are watching, if you want to comment some stuff like, hey, talk about this time, talk about when you guys went here, or if you have questions for us. I mean, it's kind of like your stereotypical like, let us know what you want to hear kind of thing. But honestly, we would love to answer any questions you have, tell any stories that we can, and really just, this is like Will and Taylor have their thing, Bussin and everything like that. This is like ours, so we're gonna do like we have no really agenda as to what we're talking about. So you guys commenting and stuff will definitely help us out. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. Obviously, we don't expect it to be Bussin or anything, but just something for us to kind of get we're normally behind the camera, getting in front of the camera a little bit, just kind of flexing that muscle a little bit. It'll be fun. And when we have the buy-in of everybody, it'll be a good time.
plenty of good stories to be
Plenty.
told from these trips that we most likely aren't allowed to tell on other formats.
That's why I said
We can do
every.
what we want on this show.
I was like, tell the stories that we can.
We'll tell the Bama story soon, but
We could tell.
A lot of people don't know Jack. Also, he lives in a few different states 4 months out of the year.
Yeah.
We can
That's
tell.
true.
We can talk Austin, Texas. We can talk
Yeah.
Nebraska. Just
Nebraska.
that spring tour year.
Shout out
That year
Berries.
when we did that.
shout out Berries.
Yeah, we could tell
Shout out berries.
Coop fighting that couch.
And shout out to Mitch for putting this together. I
Yeah.
know y'all already talked about that.
Shout out Mitch.
Mitch got the furniture. He set up all the equipment. He got all of the wheels rolling on the back of the Bus podcast, and it's not easy with his full-time job of producing the podcast and cutting the clips and everything. So we are grateful for Mitch's work that he's put in.
And to be honest, like Will and Taylor have never said this, and I don't think they actually mean it. But like, part of me thinks like they want this to fail.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
for
want us to
100%.
come
Wait till they
back,
see
crawling back to
Coop is-
dads. So boost this shit up. We're not trying to like leave Bussin, but like let's spite Will and Taylor a little bit. With
Everybody
a
has
couple
a price.
comments.
If we could get a sponsorship and
It does not matter who you are.
Right.
I mean, maybe, but most likely it does not matter.
we will. That money's coming. We're gonna have to talk with Will and Taylor.
That'd be so sick. Also, y'all missed J-Rod producer energy when he was running the sticks.
Just being typical demon,
Being
like just making those little
demon.
comments.
Kind of
like,
pissed.
He was being
Why?
I mean, he was just kind of like
Where is he? Why isn't he up
he's
here?
interviewing the rest of those intern kids. We told him that we might need to bring one of the interns on live for an interview, just for like his actual job. But
Interns, if you are interviewing with J Rod, should we tell them to ask him something
yeah,
and see if they do it?
yeah, that'd be funny.
What should we have him ask?
Tell him to hit the J-Rod, his new dance.
You should ask him. I'd say what he told us when he was, because he was older and he was driving for that long.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not something you want to ask in an interview.
Probably won't get hired.
That'd be hilarious though.
just say type shit 3 times
Yeah,
to Jared.
yeah. If you can sneak in, type shit a couple times.
Type shit.
Yeah, record yourself secretly. Record yourself interviewing with J-Rod, and if you can fit in 20 type shits without
20?
20.
20.
Well, hear
It's
me
a
out
high
because
bar.
it's a big prize.
Type shit.
Type shit. If he can sneak in 20 or she 20 type shits in the interview with J-Rod, and J-Rod does not mention it,
To us, yeah.
they get a second interview, guaranteed.
And
We'll make it
also,
happen.
They'll get reposted.
Also, in the
And
comments,
reposted.
let us know what kind of weird shit Jared's asking.
Yeah. Need
I
that.
need to audit this.
Yeah, record it too, because I would just love to hear that
Just to
interview.
hear Jared in interview
Hey,
mode.
so like this is This is the type shit we're doing here.
Oh, okay, type shit. Okay.
This might be a dumb question. I don't know if I've said it before, but like I don't know.
It's actually really stupid, but
Yeah. And I'm not trying to like step on anybody's toes or anything, but
Mitch, you have a sign off for us?
Type shit.
type
First
shit.
sign off.
Welcome to the back of the bus. Get along for the ride.
Come on.
come on.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Or- yeah.
Follow
We probably
me.
are subscribed. But
Follow all of us. Follow Coop.
us.
Yes.
Scroll
You want a
stopper.
Coop segment? Make sure to comment Coop segment.
Yeah, cool.
Follow Corey Levin.
Follow everyone.
Follow Corey Levin.
Follow Corey Levin.
Hopefully Corey will come on as a guest.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Seriously,
will.
though?
Probably will.
He will.
Seriously though, when they see our like assets for this show, graphics packages, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Who, Will and Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
They're gonna understand who
They're
runs
gonna wanna
the Bussin' With
rebrand.
The Boys pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coop has been grinding on this. I guess you want to say like our podcast art or like our thumbnail art or
Yeah.
graphics or whatever, and it looks fire.
I'll go ahead and call that a team effort. Mitch kind of had the vision for that as well.
Let's go.
Oh,
Love it.
Humble.
Thanks for watching the first episode.
type.
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 Oh, baby. Hey, we gotta take a photo. Mitch, get on this couch.